Hey guys, Adrian here on behalf of iTouchApps.net. Today we're taking a look at Scribblenauts Remix. Scribblenauts Remix is a creative sort of sandbox game where your aim is to go through missions coming up with creative ideas to get past the level. So in this case, this level right here, it says the half-step brothers become friends in their love of sports and bring them together. So that's your hint. That's your basis of this mission. So you have to come up with items that will help you essentially bring them together via sport. So I can think of a couple of things. For example, football. I can draw football, give that to one of the brothers here, and then he needs something from the same sport. So let's see, for example, what else is associated with football? Maybe a helmet, for example. Whoops, if I can spell that correctly. Give that to the other brother here, and maybe that wasn't perfect. So let me think of something else. What else would be involved from football? Cleats, maybe that might help. I can get a pair of cleats. If you can interact with those, and you can pick up the item and drop them on a specific. I can remove the helmet and give him a pair of cleats, see if he will interact with that. And if I get stuck here, for example, I can go into hints. So that's hint number 1. I can't maybe think of something from the same sport as football. Maybe a field goal. So you can see here, this game really harnesses creativity. So you can draw a field goal, for example. And I'm trying to think what else you could use. Football. Maybe if I remove that, let's see here. So you could definitely get stuck here. So there's multiple levels. I'm gonna go back here. You can see some of the other levels here. I'm gonna use it. See if I can go get another hint. I'm gonna go ahead and click on the hint right here. Whoops. Need to click out of the magnifying glass. And looks like I don't have enough. Let's see what other objects are related to the sport you chose. And I don't really know here. So I mean, football, helmet, jersey maybe. I mean, you can come up with so many things. That's what's so crazy about this game. You can really spell out so many things and give them to the brothers here, or whoever the objective is in the mission. So it really does get kind of challenging in that you have to really come up with unique things. Now I can quit here, and you can see there's tons and tons of levels here. That's definitely a huge pro. You have multiple worlds with over like 7 levels each, I believe. So there's tons of levels, tons of playability. And what's really great about this is the replayability factor. You can kind of play each level differently. So for example, that one I got stuck on, I didn't have to do football. I could have done basketball. I could have done golf. I could have done any sport. Going back to the main menu here, you have stuff like you can set avatar. You can go through the shop and get some add-ons. There's achievements with Game Center, so that's another huge pro. They have options here where you can adjust things like tutorial, joysticks, sound, etc. And on the very main menu here, which is a really creative main menu, you can just kind of go free draw. You can really come up with almost anything you can think of that exists as an item. So for example, I can say desktop, and a desktop computer pops up out of nowhere. I can say volleyball, for example, and that will pop out of nowhere again. And then you can interact with a lot of these items. So for example, I can choose to play the sound from the cell phone he has here. I can choose to interact with the computer. I can choose to interact with people. I can come up with really crazy sort of things. So like dinosaur, for example. Whoops, and I spelled that totally wrong there. Whoops, I don't want those to be capitalized. Dinosaur. I think I'm still spelling that wrong. Yeah, so you can see you can come up with all these creative things and put them wherever you please. And you can interact with these items, you can ride them, you can have things fight, all this crazy stuff. So Scribblenauts Remix overall is a really creative game. It's a kind of sandbox where it harnesses creativity in that you have to come up through different missions to come up with different objectives or come up with different items to get through the objective. Now the game isn't for everybody. It's not really action based, it's more of a creativity game, and it really is fun in that aspect. So it's definitely worth checking out. One of the best kind of creative sandbox games out there. This is Scribblenauts Remix. You can find it in the App Store today.